Hey, Jeremiah, Steps Pressure Washing and More. We're out here in beautiful Durham, North Carolina today. Another late start for us, but we finally got out to our first job, and it is about 90 degrees. So we're going to go ahead. I've got the mixed tank filling up because I didn't want to tote a full barrel out here on the trailer. But now that we're here, I'm going to fill that up, and then we're going to get this thing washed and head on over to Garner for job number 2. Let's turn you around. We'll see what we got going on. All right, pretty simple, straightforward, 2-story home. A couple of high peaks, but nothing we won't be able to hit easily. I've already spoken with the homeowner about the oxidation on the southern side of the home. And there's just a little bit of algae growing here on the north side. So we're going to get that taken care of. We're using our standard 1% SH today. And that's just going to melt right off. We are looking at getting up to about 100 degrees today, so I'm going to do my best to stay in the shade on this one. And everything I should be able to reach straight from the ground. I'm going to come around here to the south side. Do our quick oxidation test. Very, very oxidized here on the southern side. And I would be willing to bet the back side of the house is also heavily oxidized just because it gets a lot of sun. Yes, it does. So we're going to get this thing cleaned up, at least get those whites whiter, get the trim bright, and get everything cleaned up. I'm going to go check that mix tank. Alright, well that one was a bust. I did not expect to have such low water pressure. I got it started, got some soap going, and I was like, hey man, that's really strange. When I was trying to get the soap going, but I was having flow, but man, when it stopped, it stopped. So we're heading off to the pressure washing store, gonna get some more SH, and then heading over to job number 2 for the day. That sucks, man. This was about an hour drive out here. Alrighty, so we are at job number 2 for today. This one looks like it's been a few years since it's last been pressure washed, but got a good bit of stuff growing up in the eaves. Let's come over here. This is the south side, so we're going to check and see what we got going on. Oxidation-wise, I'm already seeing some, and definitely some oxidation here on the south side, and that's normal. Went by the pressure washing store on our way over here because I needed some more bleach, or sorry, SH, and priced out some tanks. Not quite sure what direction I want to go right now, but at least I'll have an idea of how much it'll cost. Right over here we have the green side. And you can see it has been a few years since this has been washed. And they're pretty much green all the way up on these dormers. Black on the garage. Snail marks. Some spider webs, but everything is accessible, which is awesome. Beautiful entryway there. We're going to get that cleaned up. Spray some SH here on these rails. See, SH, not bleach. I'm using the correct terminology. Yeah, there's a lot growing on here. Alright. And then this is, I believe, the east side. And it's got a lot of shade, so it's got a lot of green. So we're going to get this cleaned up too. Alright, hang tight. And we're rinsing the back side of the house now. Whew, it is hot out. I think they said this is the hottest September 5th on record. I think it's still September 5th. And it is definitely living up to that title. We had a really nice weekend. Highs in the 70s, low 80s. We were getting down into the 50s at night. And I'll tell you, get you spoiled pretty quick. But I did notice the next door neighbor has a pretty serious pressure washing rig. I don't know if they only do commercial, but makes me curious of why I'm washing the house here. But anyway, I'm glad to be out here. I got this one from a referral. One of the customers I washed back in June told his friend this is the guy to use, and now I'm here. So I'm grateful for that referral as well as the business here today. And I often talk about yard signs as being my main source of advertising, and it is. It's my main lead generator I use, but it is just a lead generator. So it's just to get your foot in the door. I put out yard signs, I get some phone calls. If I book a job, I gotta go out and I have to do a good job. And in the situation like today when I couldn't do the job, I didn't charge the customer. I apologize profusely. So maybe she will still refer me. She was also a referral from a referral. So that is just word of mouth helps get it there, and word of mouth will take it away as well. So we got pretty decently low wind today. That usually happens when it is 100 degrees outside. And I am able to hit that peak way up there, no issue. We're going to be doing this in pieces just because it's so hot. I don't want these sides here in the sunshine to dry. And this one right here is already starting to dry, so we're going to go ahead and get it rinsed. We're finally far enough away from the pressure washer that's running, and I can actually get some audio on this one. So this really has not been cleaned in, I don't really know how long to estimate because I didn't realize it, but this house has no gutters. And I noticed on the back when I was washing it, hey, there's no gutters up there. And the more I wash, the more I realize this house needs gutters. Because right here, we have where it runs off and it turns red. And I've encountered red algae before and I've not had the best luck with it. But I'm going to hit this again. I just hit it right now. It's not going to come off, and I know that because, well, I've encountered it before. And I'm going to hit it again when I get done with this and see what I can't get done. I'll definitely be recommending to the customer to add some gutters to their property. They're holding a lot of moisture against the house. But again, it's up to them. It really is. I mean, that's a huge investment. If they just want to get it pressure washed more often, they might come out ahead over the next 5 years. Depends on how long they want to stay here. Or they might be okay. Really, a lot of this depends on what the customer wants. It's all preference, really, unless you have an HOA, which I doubt they do. We'll see. Another thing I did think about, I did not mention earlier, was one of the reasons why I wouldn't wash the house before with an inconsistent pressure is because I don't know what my percentage of SH is. When your flow drops, your ratio changes, and if it's dropping intermittently at different levels, you never know what you're hitting the house with. I could have been hitting it with 6% and not know it, or I could have been rinsing the house and drawing soap. So I really just, some jobs you have to walk away from no matter how long you've spent getting to the job, how much you have invested, how badly you need it. It really is easy to do damage when you're not doing it correctly. So if you ever encounter a position where you can't control the flow of water, I walked away today and I don't regret it. I'm a little bummed about it, a little frustrated with it, but it just gives me a little bit more fire under me to get that buffer tank set up. Yeah, and as you can see, a lot of that red stuff is remaining. even after most of the other algae has died. So we're going to let that sit for a little bit. I'm going to come back, I'm going to rinse it, and then I'm going to probably rewash it. Alright, so I was able to get that pink stuff pretty much off. I hit it with soap, rinsed it, hit it with a little bit of pressure, and then rinsed it again, and then hit it with a little bit of pressure, and it came off. The doors to the garage came out really good, but we still got a little bit of an issue here on the left garage door. So I'm going to grab my gutter brightening brush, and I'm going to see what I can get done there, but we are done washing for the day. Alright, so we've still got these spots down here, so I'm going to hit it with a little bit of our, this is actually Simple Green. And see if we can get some of this oxidation off. I think this is really all from not having gutters and a lot of the water hitting the driveway and then bouncing up, bringing all the dirt and grease with it. Got a super soft brush here. I don't want to take the paint. I'd rather leave a little bit of dirt behind than to take the paint off. This seems to be doing the trick. Super, super soft brush. Yeah, that's gonna work. It is in fact not perfect, but it looks a heck of a lot better than when we got here. We can at least say that, or I can at least say that I did my best with the information that I have at my disposal and the knowledge I've gained over the past few years. Okay. This is always fun working with one hand to hold the camera. Alright, and we've got really very lightly here, so we're just going to hit these two spots. Very lightly. This paint's not new by any measure, so there we go. There's the clean house, all finished up. You can tell all that white trim has been cleaned up nicely. It pops when you pull into the driveway, and I really wanted those garage doors to be white when he pulled up, so mission accomplished. And that's going to do it for me today, guys. I am going to go home. Well, I got to roll up here first, but then I'm going to go home, get in the pool, cool off a little bit. You guys be safe out there.